Do you have a vehicle that's making a humming noise, a growling noise, or even a grinding noise, and it gets progressively worse as you're driving? Well, you probably have a wheel bearing that's going out. So I'm going to show you how to diagnose that wheel bearing and how to replace it all in this video. Hopefully you guys can hear this. As I'm speeding up, the noise is getting louder. Now, what you need to do is get out on a road where you can safely kind of turn the wheel slightly to the left, slightly to the right, and if you turn it to the left and the noise gets louder, that means it's probably your right wheel bearing that's going out. So when you're turning to the left, it's putting a load on that wheel bearing. So the opposite would be, so if you turn to the right and the wheel bearing gets louder, it's more likely your left wheel bearing. So I'm going to try to get up to a good driving speed here and do that, but you obviously need to make sure you're in a safe location when you're doing that so you don't cause any accidents. But I'm also going to show you how to verify what wheel bearing it is when we get back to the house. So let's see if I can get in a good spot here and see, and give it a little turn to the left. So it seems like when I give it a little turn to the left here, the noise gets a little louder. So I'm thinking it's the right wheel bearing. So we're going to go ahead and get it back to the house, and I'll show you how to verify what you think what wheel bearing it is. All right, after you get the vehicle jacked up, the first thing you want to do is check for play in the wheel bearing. So what you can do is check side to side and up and down. Now, I don't have any play in the wheel bearing, but when you're checking side to side, if all you have is side to side play, it's more likely something in your tie rod, so the outer tie rod, inner tie rod, or some kind of play in your steering rack. And if you only have play when you're checking up and down, more than likely it is like the ball joint. Now, if you have side to side and up and down, more than likely it's the wheel bearing. So first thing you can do is check for play, which I checked both sides and neither one have any kind of play. So the next thing I want to do is check to see if I can hear noise. Now, once you have this safely up on a jack, you can get the wheel spinning. Now, if it's all-wheel drive, you need the whole vehicle off the ground. If it's rear-wheel drive, you need the rear off the ground. If it's front-wheel drive, you need the front off the ground. But safely have it on jack stands and make sure you check to make sure that the vehicle is safely on the jack stands, so we don't have any issues with that. So what you can do is get somebody in the vehicle, and they're going to get the vehicle going up to speed. And sometimes you can just feel your strut, and you can feel the vibration from the bad wheel bearing. Now, if that doesn't work, the next thing you need to do is we'll go ahead and listen to the wheel bearing as it's moving. And you'll use a stethoscope to listen to the wheel bearing. So you'll just touch the stethoscope on the knuckle, and the vibrations from the bad wheel bearing will go into the knuckle, and you'll be able to tell side to side on what wheel bearing is bad. Now, let me tell you, if you have a front wheel drive vehicle and you think you have a hub in the back going bad, what I normally do is I'll get that vehicle jacked up in the back, and I'll spin that wheel as fast as I can, and then I'll get like a die grinder with like a Scotch-Brite pad or something on it, and I'll put it on that tire, and it'll help spin that wheel a little faster, so then you can listen to that hub or wheel bearing with that stethoscope. Sometimes you can't get it up to speed enough with just your hand. So if you're having problems and you're not really sure if it's a wheel bearing where it's front wheel drive and you think it's the rear and you can't really drive it and get it spinning, or if it's rear wheel drive and you think it's the front wheel, you can use that die grinder and get that wheel spinning. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and get this vehicle driving, and then I'm going to feel each strut on both sides and see if I feel anything. If I don't, then I'm going to get the stethoscope out, and I'll go ahead and listen to each hub. Okay, so it looks like we're going to go ahead and use the stethoscope. So I got the vehicle jacked up safely and secure. I got the vehicle going. Now, when I use the stethoscope, do not put it on anything that is moving. What I like to do is I put the stethoscope onto the knuckle. That is where the wheel bearing is bolted to the knuckle, so all the noise from the bad wheel bearing kind of transfers over into that knuckle, so you'll be able to tell from each side which one is noisier than the other. And then that will be the wheel bearing that you will condemn bad and replace. So make sure the vehicle is secure on the jack stands when you are doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and check each side and see if it is the right or left. Okay, so I verified that it is the right front wheel bearing, and the wheel bearing that I'm going to be replacing today is a sealed hub bearing or a sealed unit bearing. So this is the bearing that I'm going to be replacing here. There's a lot of different vehicles that use this type of bearing. It's even the same on my Jeeps as it is on this Cobalt. So very similar. There's always an axle nut and then the bolts that are holding in the unit bearing. So we're going to go ahead and take this off, and this will give you an idea on how to do it on any vehicle really that has this kind of unit bearing. So we're going to go in and get to it. So if you guys are interested, I'll go ahead and link all the tools that I'm using in this video in the description. They are Amazon links. So if you guys are curious about what I'm using, go ahead and check out the description, and I'll have all these links in there. Okay, if you're not replacing the brakes, which I'm not going to, you don't have to take the caliper off of the bracket. So instead of taking off the caliper bolt here, you just take the caliper bracket bolt off here. So there's 2 caliper bracket bolts. So we're going to take this whole thing off and just hang it on the strut. So we are not taking off the caliper. We are taking off the caliper along with the caliper bracket. Now, if you are going to replace the brakes, now's the time to go ahead and unbolt the caliper and then take off the caliper bracket. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hang this caliper from the strut. I'm going to use the bungee cord. Make sure you use something to hang this caliper with. Do not just hang it from the brake hose, because that is the quickest way to ruin that brake hose. And then you're going to end up having to replace that brake hose. So make sure you use something to hang this caliper with. All right, now that you got the axle nut off there, I just like to get this axle kind of pushed back a little bit. I just take like my ball peen hammer. Make sure you don't hit the thread. Just kind of give it a good tap there just to loosen it up from the wheel bearing. If you're worried about hitting the threads, put the axle nut back on there and thread it on so there are no threads showing. And then you can hit it with the hammer. But I just take the round end of the ball peen hammer and hit on the center of this axle shaft, and it'll push it out of that wheel bearing. So then when you're ready to unbolt this wheel bearing, you can just knock it off there. So let's go ahead and unbolt this wheel bearing. Now, sometimes you might have to put a little bit of heat on the wheel bearing here where the bolt bolts into the wheel bearing. Or, like I just did there, I just used a hammer to give it a little extra force to break the bolt loose. Now, this wheel bearing bolt is being a little stubborn. So, where I like to heat is where the wheel bearing bolt goes into the wheel bearing. So, this is where the threads are. And I just kind of heat up that spot there where the wheel bearing bolts into. And that should help us break this bolt loose. All right, there it is, got it broke loose. Okay, so we got the caliper and bracket off, got the rotor off, got the axle nut off. We already tapped that axle back, so it's kind of free from the wheel bearing now. And then we got all the wheel bearing bolts out from the back of it. So there's only 3 of them that are holding it in. So you can see here, these 3 spots are where the wheel bearing bolts to the hub. So those are all off. So now what we need to do is try to knock this wheel bearing off there. There's a couple different ways that I like to do this. First, we're going to try to just knock it off with the hammer, and hopefully that gets it. If not, I like to get the air hammer out, and I'll hit where the tabs are, where the bolts go into the hub, and just try to spin it inside that knuckle. That usually gets the wheel bearing to come off. There are some other tools that they make that also help get that hub off there. I'll link those in the description also. But right now, we're going to try to go ahead and just knock it off with a hammer and see how it does. All right, there it is. I went ahead and got it freed up. Just hitting it with the hammer. It's still kind of stuck on the axle shaft, so just kind of watch, because since I was heating that up, you don't burn yourself. But I'm just going to grab the hub here, tap on that axle, and it all falls off. So now what I need to do is just clean this, the mating surface up where the hub is. You can see how nasty that is. And also try to save the dust shield. If it's not all messed up, you can reuse it. If it is pretty nasty, it's probably best to go ahead and just get another one. So we're going to go ahead and clean up this area here and then get the new hub on. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the backing plate on, install the wheel bearing, and then I'm going to give the wheel bearing a couple little taps to get it centered in the knuckle so I can get the bolt started in the wheel bearing. Now here, I'm just going to go ahead and get the bolt started, and then I'm going to go around and get them tightened up and torque them to spec. Now after getting the wheel bearing all tightened up, now it's time to go ahead and install your axle nut. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit it with my impact, but on the lower setting, because I'm going to go back and torque that to the proper spec. Now it's time to go ahead and get the brakes back on there. So I'm going to throw the rotor on there, and then I'm going to get the caliper and the bracket back on there and get that tightened up to the proper spec. Alright guys, it was as easy as that. All you need to do is get your wheel on there and get that torque to spec. If you guys have any questions on like your torque specs, all I normally do is get all my torque specs offline. They're usually pretty close to what All Data would be, or Identifix, or any of those companies. So I just get all my torque specs offline. But if you guys have any questions on any of the things that I did in the video, just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you. You guys have a good one.